When Leon Edwards gave Kamaru Usman a huge head kick and won the world championship, his life changed forever. Here, we talk about him, his career, current record in the UFC, and his net worth. Leon Edwards has had an interesting career so far. After Michael Bisping in 2016, he was the only other British person to win the UFC title. I can't wait for him to defend his belt for the first time against Usman at UFC 286 on March 18th, 2023. The fight will happen at the O2 Arena in London. A match in Leon's home country could be an advantage, right? As y'all know, this will be the third fight between the two after the last two blockbusters. It'll also be their first fight outside of the United States. Edwards has been in 24 fights so far, and he has won 20, lost 3, and had one fight that ended in a draw. He has won by knockout 7 times, by submission 3 times, and by decision 10 times. The Englishman also won against Nate Diaz and Donald Cerrone, both of whom have been big names in the UFC for a long time. The best part is that he hasn't lost since his first fight with Usman in December 2015. Since then, he's had 10 fights and won 9 of them. The man can fight for sure, and that was proved to us when he knocked Usman out. I hope Edwards isn't a one-time wonder and that he keeps blessing us with these knockouts again and again. No matter what, this all-time great comeback will never lose its shine. Usman is very good at wrestling. When the head kick hit, Usman had been in control for more than 10 minutes, 3 minutes of which came from 2 takedowns in the third round. So Usman literally had the upper hand for almost half of the fight. The Nigerian got 83 hits while Edwards only got 55. The 31-year-old didn't know how to deal with his pressure. Once the Nigerian had him on the mat, Edwards couldn't get up. No matter how you look at it, Usman was beating this challenger with ease. The result was both simple and shocking, and it happened really quickly. For most of the time, the Salt Lake City fans kept quiet out of respect, but they eventually had to applaud the fighter who came back. And out of nowhere, there was a new winner. This wasn't the only time Leon heard his name as the winner. His MMA career started off with a win. Edwards fought Damian Zlotnicki for the first time as a pro on June 5th, 2011, on the main card of Fight UK 4. Damian Zlotnicki, who had never fought in a professional MMA match before, was his first opponent. He lost to Leon Edwards by KO TKO at 2 minutes and 15 seconds of round 1. The Englishman made his UFC debut on November 8, 2014. He fought Claudio Silva on the main card of UFC Fight Night 56, Shogun vs. Sampru. He had a professional MMA record of 8-1-0 at the time. UFC fans knew for sure they had a skilled fighter in front of their eyes. Leon lost by decision at the 5th minute of round 3 to Claudio Silva. No biggie, I guess. He's won more than enough times after that. And to his defense, he hasn't ever been submitted and knocked out. That's one thing to be proud of, but there's more that he has to be proud of, such as the journey that brought him here. There are a lot of questions that Leon asks himself every day. Some even he doesn't know the answers to. What if his father didn't take his family to the UK? Then how would he have escaped all the killing, drugs, and poverty on the streets of Jamaica? But I know he's here for a reason. It's not just to fight in the UFC or become the next world welterweight champion. It goes beyond that. Their family lived in a wooden shack with a zinc roof. It wasn't a one-bedroom apartment. There was only one room. The kitchen, the living room, and the bedroom were all in that room. Everyone slept on the same bed. Leon said that it was hard, but when you're young, it seemed normal because everyone else around you was going through the same thing. Even as a child, he was still happy. What's beautiful is that Edwards never regretted anything. He always was content with what his mother and father gave him. The story was never sad. And now he's content with his fighting career. He won the BAMMA welterweight title in London in 2014. Later that year, he signed with the UFC. He said that when you see a different way of living, your view of life changes. He travels a lot now, so he definitely sees more people living different lives. There's always something to learn, right? It gives you so much to think about. And the Englishman feels that he can now talk about his experiences to his family, his son, and everyone else he knows. The 31-year-old has a 6-year-old son named Jayon. The main thing that drives him is to give his kid the kind of life he never had. There's a reason Edwards works so hard every day, for the sole fact of wanting his whole family to have the best life they can. He admits that he's made it to a place in life where one can help other people, and the fighting blood runs in the family. Edwards' brother Fabian is currently in Bellator trying to make a name for himself. He does have one of the best best fighters to learn from. The Englishman holds his family really close to his heart, and recently the MMA fighter did a beautiful gesture for his mom. He gifted his mother a restaurant. After winning the UFC welterweight title, Leon Edwards opened a Caribbean restaurant for his mom. Edwards was on the phone with his mom when he broke down in tears right after his last-second win in Salt Lake City. After getting the biggest win of his career, the Brit made sure to help his family. He did this by opening a restaurant for his mother in Wasal. The restaurant is called Sweet's Kitchen, and it serves traditional Caribbean food, like fried plantains and mutton curry. Edwards said that the restaurant is doing well and that he often goes there, but he stays out of the kitchen because he doesn't know how to cook. His mother wouldn't allow that either. The 31-year-old has enough wealth to fulfill luxuries for his family. The Sports Daily says that Leon Edwards' net worth is about $1.5 million. He reportedly made $432,000 for beating Usman in their second fight. Talk about hard work paying off, quite literally. He sure does hope his efforts are worthwhile soon when he faces Usman in their final bout. This won't just be a huge main event between two giant welterweights. The fight will be full of history and drama at every turn. Edwards told Sky Sports in a recent interview that the night he won the title was not his best. Even though that was a rough time, the champion is looking forward to his next match with the Nigerian Nightmare, especially since it'll be on his home turf. After everything, he goes into his first title defense with a clearer mind and strong belief, hoping the chaos of the last fight won't follow him into his own backyard. And that's that. Do you think he'll cement his place as one of the greatest fighters in the UFC? Let us know in the comments. See you in the next one.